Hey there guys, this is Sam
and Justin
at the Survival Review, and today we are going to be discussing the brand new film in the Predator franchise, The Predator.
Yeah.
Now, to prepare for this movie, we actually rewatched all of the old Predator movies.
All three of them.
I had never seen 2 or 3. I'm a huge fan of the original.
Oh.
I love the movie. It's like one of the best action films ever fucking made.
Yeah, it's a classic.
But I just never felt the urge, really, to seek out the sequels that much.
Mm-hmm.
I heard so things about them, and in watching them, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, because you got the first Predator, which don't really have to say much about it, because everything that's been said about it has been said.
It's a masterclass of action.
Yeah,
it's
super 80s and cheesy, but still badass at the same time.
Yeah, Arnold at his peak.
Yeah,
it's just one of the greatest action films ever made.
Yeah,
and we're not gonna talk about that too much.
And then you get Predator 2.
Predator 2, which I didn't really know what to expect here. I had heard things about it.
It starts out strong.
It does. It starts out like somebody trying to be Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
And doing a moderately decent job. It has that sort of Verhoeven vibe.
It feels like it
combined with Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it feels like it owes more towards Verhoeven and RoboCop than McTiernan and Predator.
Yeah, definitely.
And it has some cool stuff in there. Some fun bits, some fun sequences.
Some cool lore with the Predator. You learn more about it and its tech.
Great cast, too. Really good cast.
Danny Glover's good.
Yeah. Bill Paxton, he's fun.
Gary Busey.
It's a lot of fun. But it's just when there's not fun, Predator stuff happening, it's just kind of dull.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, it's not very memorable.
Yeah.
There's memorable moments.
Yes. There are moments that stand out to me, but the overall film is just watchable.
Yeah, and then Predators.
Predators is kind of more of the same.
Yeah.
In terms of, it's fine, harmless sequel, but nothing you're going to remember too much.
I think you said it best in that Predators is a more solid movie than Predator 2, but the highs are a lot better in Predator 2.
Yeah, I would probably rather watch Predator 2 just because...
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'd rather watch Predators.
Yeah.
It's just a more fluid movie.
Yeah. But I'd rather seek out clips of Predator 2.
Yes. The best option is just to watch 2 scenes from Predator 2 and you're good.
But Predators, it's alright, it's solid. It relies too heavily on the original.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
But for the most part, it's fine. Adrian Brody is fine in there, despite him doing a weird, gruff Batman voice. Aside from the voice, he's good.
Didn't understand that, but those weird. And you got cool appearance from Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he kind of plays not really what you'd expect him to play, with what they kind of build up to as his character. And I thought that was kind of a fun kind of diversion, not what you really expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun little movie.
Yeah, it's cool to see things on their planet.
Yeah.
And get that whole
go somewhere else other than just Earth.
Yeah. Not bad, but not too special.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we find ourselves with The Predator.
Yes.
2018.
Yeah.
It kind of suffers the same sort of issues that the other sequels do.
It really does. It's a movie with a lot of cool moments and a lot of great bits and pieces, but as a whole doesn't quite work.
Yeah. It's definitely got a good director behind it.
Yeah, because
Shane Black.
That's the thing. For the longest time, we were actually really hyped for this movie.
Yeah.
Since it was announced 4 years ago.
It's a movie 4 years in the making.
Yeah. And we were always super excited for it, because if anyone could revitalize the Predator franchise, it's Shane Black.
Yeah, he's the perfect man for the job.
He can have that 80s sensibility to it. He can bring that to it, but still make it a modern, entertaining action film.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hype for it, but a lot of the hype seemed to stop within the last year or so, when all the reports of the movie going back for reshoots and refilming nearly the entire third act.
Yeah.
It's never a good sign when your movie has to do that.
Yeah. And when you can kind of clearly tell while watching the movie that a lot of it was reshot.
But even the trailers just didn't really they didn't grab me at all.
No, I honestly, I watched the first trailer a while back and I barely even remember it.
We were hyped, and then we kind of weren't.
it dipped.
Yeah, it did.
I was still generally positive looking into it. I was thinking, okay, it's Shane Black.
It's Shane Black. Like, he hasn't made a bad movie yet.
Yeah, he can do a good job with it. And he didn't by any means do horribly.
No.
It's played, for one thing, like it has some good practical effects in it.
Yes.
But when the CGI is there, it's not
there.
It's not too good.
No, it goes for the gore, which is great. Yeah. It doesn't hold back. It doesn't, try to like PG-13ify it. It's full on graphic violence.
Yeah, it's pretty uncompromising for the most part. It feels like the kind of movie that Shane Black and Fred Decker probably would have made in the 80s had they gotten the rights back then. Yeah. Around the same sort of lines.
Yeah, there's even like dialogue in this movie that's very un-PC.
Yeah. And
it was just nice to like see this movie just going for it.
It's nice to see somebody just not care about that. Because at the end of the day, it's just a movie.
Yeah, really, yeah. All the Predator movies have different settings. This one's in a suburban town.
Yeah.
Which initially is like, okay, that's not really that exciting. But they work with it.
Yeah, they do a fine enough job. Because you've got the main character is this sniper. He's got a kid back home who has Asperger's, which I guess means he's a super genius.
Super genius that can learn the Predator language and everything.
Because that's how autism works.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like that show, The Good Doctor. on ABC or whatever the hell it was.
And essentially the sniper, he's on a mission while this Predator ship crashes down, and he captures a couple like the weapons, which he quickly sends back home because he thinks that'll keep us safe, and that's just evidence when people don't believe him of what really happens. But I think it's the kid opens it up and starts playing with it, and so now the Predators are on the trail to him, because there's two Predators in this movie. You got classic old school Predator.
Get the upgrade Predator.
And the upgrade, the new hybrid giant friggin' Predator.
The CGI Predator.
Basically. So those Predators are going after the kid, and now the sniper, who is with his other band of ex-soldiers, basically, have to go find the kid at the same time to save him from the Predators.
I think this movie starts out pretty strong.
Yeah.
Especially, like we said, the first two acts are pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I like that opening scene, like when the ship was crashing, and like a sniper's on his mission. So I like that scene. That was really entertaining.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of fun characters. Yeah. I think that's another part where the movie shines is kind of the ensemble cast of all these dudes, where it's not just, they're not all just, big beefy macho guys, kind of like the original Predator.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're all just crazy dudes.
They really are.
It's a bus full of crazies. And they have personality, and for the most part, they're not annoying. They're just fun characters along for the ride.
Like you have Thomas Jane, who plays a guy with Tourette's. So just like, he's entertaining.
Yeah, and you got Keegan-Michael Key in there.
Who's just playing Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah. Just fun, entertaining characters.
Yeah, and then you have Olivia Munn as a scientist.
That's right, and she's fine.
She's fine, yeah.
Nothing special.
Although I was expecting in like that first scene where they approach her and there's like Dr. So-and-so, wanting her to turn and be like, oh, she's done that one. My only real problem with the character is that like she goes from just being like scientist lady to macho badass and like a snap of the finger.
Like, bada bing.
Yeah, all of a sudden just picking up the train gun and she's like running after the Predator like a badass. And you're like, where did this come out? I was like,
okay,
sure. And that's kind of one thing I have is that a lot of the characters I feel like they act too much like they're like trying to be badasses.
Yeah, but for me, for the most part, it didn't bother me too much because it felt like the movie wasn't really taking itself too seriously. It was just trying to have fun a little bit.
But there's like a scene with like the main sniper and his wife character where even she tries to have like badass dialogue.
With her, it felt really out of place.
Yeah, like not everybody has to be a badass.
I do agree there.
And the dialogue, like the humor dialogue, like the quippy stuff that Shane Black does, normally really great, is very hit or miss.
Yes, it has moments where it's really clever, funny.
Yeah, there's some funny stuff in here.
Moments where it's just kind of a flat line.
Yeah, and it almost feels like some guy trying to write a Shane Black movie.
A little bit.
Because there's moments where like pretty much every scene with the team there is just them like going back and forth and like overlapping dialogue, like, and it feels like they think they're so clever with this.
And some of it is.
Yeah, some little bits in there are good, but a lot of it's just like, dude, just keep moving. Like, it's okay, it's great. You guys are quippy. I get it. Like, move on. Also, the movie moves at a really fast pace, which I feel like it might be due to reshoots and due to cutting stuff out. Like, Edward James Olmos was actually in this movie. Mm-hmm. and they cut his character out.
Yeah.
All of his scenes were cut out.
Not in it at all.
No, and like I think the middle half of the movie, like it just feels like a lot was kind of trimmed because it moves a little too fast. There's not really enough time to really like spend with these characters, just them constantly moving and moving, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, barely even got to see my boy Jake Busey.
Yeah, because Jake Busey is in the movie, and I love that.
Playing the son of Gary Busey.
Yeah.
But they don't even mention that he's related, but I guess it's assumed.
Yeah, he's one of the scientists in the beginning, and he's great.
Yeah.
He was just a lot of fun. I almost feel like he was in a different movie.
Yeah.
Because he was just kind of like jokey. Like, they're like, this is super serious. We have this like alien creature. And he's just like, yeah, I got an alien creature. Like,
hey, cool,
yeah.
Jake Busey.
Like, there's one bit where, like, spoiler, but not really, the predator gets loose. And like he kills this guy in a really graphic way and just cuts to a reaction shot of Jake Busey. He's just like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
That's all it was. I'm like, I love it.
Just funny.
Yeah. I wish he was in it more, actually. Like, I wish he had a lot more to do.
Yeah.
But then you get to the third act.
Yeah, that's where the movie kind of falls apart a little bit. It definitely just... Things feel really rushed.
Yeah, this movie has some of that, like, kind of modern movie issues with doing a lot of reshoots. Not to the extent of, like, Justice League or Fantastic Four. It's not as, like, much of a mess as that. But you really get that feeling of, like, there was something different here.
Yes.
And that third act takes place in, like, a forest, basically, at night. Mm-hmm. And it's... A lot of action happens really quick, really fast. And it's just hard to make out what happens a lot of the time. Everything happens so quickly, it's so dark. It just doesn't quite work. And then you get to the final scene of the movie,
which is possibly the most tacked on thing I've ever seen in a movie.
It's bad.
It's basically like a post-credit scene, but it flows... The last scene of the movie flows into this last scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's just the next scene.
Yeah, like it's the next scene. But
but as soon as they start talking, you notice that it's like, oh, this is... Oh.
Yeah, and like...
This is just sequel bait.
Yeah, and clearly, like, you know, the characters all in different clothes, too, because it's clearly shot later on. Yes. And with what actually happens in the scene is so laughably bad.
Yeah, it's really dumb. I was laughing in the theater.
I think I was just like, oh, God.
Yeah, we were just kind of cracking up. But yeah, it just... You wonder why.
Yeah. You
wonder why they even bother. Because maybe this movie will do fine. We're only filming this on the Saturday after it premiered.
Yeah.
So we can't really say yet as to how well it's doing.
But at our Thursday night screening, which are normally packed for these kinds of movies, it was less than half full.
Yeah, there were maybe a dozen or so people in the theater.
It was
which is not good for your premiere.
No.
I don't think the sequel is going to be happening, the sequel that they're baiting, and it'll probably just end up like the other sequels where they'll sit on it for the next 10 years and then make another one. Yeah,
they'll make another one that's like a direct tie to the original, but it'll still be in the same universe, but won't follow up anything that's set up in this one.
Exactly.
Just like this did with Predators. So overall, like, it has fun moments, but it's just, meh.
Yeah, I'd say it's on par with the other two sequels.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the other sequels to In Predators, you'll probably enjoy this. It's decent fun. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
It's just not really a movie that I think I'm going to be going back to.
No, and it could have been so much better with the talent involved, with Shane Black and Fred Dekker writing the scripts.
Yeah. It just feels like such a missed opportunity.
It really does.
Because we didn't really talk much about Fred Dekker, but he's also a great person to have behind this. He's written some of my favorite movies from the 80s.
Yeah, and then this is his first like kind of comeback project after falling off the face of the earth after doing RoboCop 3, which is understandable, but like he was coming back and it was such an awesome thing, and this is what we got. Yeah. It just feels like a lot of studio interference.
It does.
That kind of messes with me. Like, I was reading up on kind of what the original third act was supposed to be, and it still doesn't sound like the greatest thing ever.
I'm sure, much like, something with Justice League.
Yeah.
I doubt that if you get that mythical, the Shane Black cut,
that
it would be a perfect movie all of a sudden. The movie itself is still kind of flawed at its core, but it's not terrible and maybe was a little better.
Yeah. So we're going to discuss some spoilers right now, because there's some things to talk about spoiler-wise, and why not?
A couple little things.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it yet, maybe go see it, I guess.
If you want to.
It's fine. Maybe wait till it's on...
Yeah, wait till it's on DVD or something, yeah. So,
So
spoilers.
Yeah.
That friggin' third act.
Yeah, man.
And first off, like, all the characters survive up until that point.
We talked about when we watched Predators, how in that movie it feels like decent way through into the movie, the writer went, oh shit, most of the cast is still alive. Kill this one, kill this one, kill this one, kill this one.
Yeah.
And this movie does that even later into the film.
Yeah.
So you're in the third act, it's like reaching the climax, and most of the cast is still alive.
All the main core group are all still alive.
Yeah, and boom, you're just picking everybody off. Everyone.
Yeah.
Every moment that could have been a good moment for these characters to shine as they're dying.
Yeah.
It felt so rushed. You've got the one where Keegan-Michael Key and the other guy in the tree are like, they both go to shoot each other, and it happens so quickly that you don't even have time to care.
Yeah, and I will say this, they did subvert my expectations in that, like, kind of crazy, like, the biblical guy. I thought he was going to die first because he's the only actor I didn't recognize in the movie. I was like, oh, he's going to die first, and he didn't, so there's that. But as the movie went on, I was like, you know what, it's probably going to be the guy who killed John Wick's dog.
Yes.
Because that guy literally had zero character in the movie. He was Irish.
That was his character.
And he was eating pickles in one scene.
Yeah, that jar of pickles. That was it.
And
somebody called them Lucky Charms.
Yeah, so at one point I'm like, he's probably going to go first, because he's got nothing. And he did. But even his death was confusing. Like, he got his arm shot off, I think, and then he shot, like, the flare off into the air, and then you just heard him, like, scream, I think, and he just died off camera? I don't even remember. It was just kind of messy. And then probably the worst death in the movie. The main villain, basically, played by Sterling K. Brown. He has one of the, like, predator cannons on his shoulder and stuff, and he's in, like, the forest, and they're fighting off the giant predator. And I guess, apparently, he turned his head, and then the thing turned his head, like, saw his head and thought it was the target and shot it.
I think that's what happened. Again, it happened pretty quickly.
It happened so quick, and it wasn't even, like, focused on a lot. He's, like, the main, like, human villain of the movie. He just take it like that, and they move on.
Yep. It was pretty jarring.
Like, I missed the shot, and then later on I'm like, he's not here. Is he dead?
Yeah.
That's actually
I saw him die.
I missed it.
I didn't miss it, but it was very, like, whoa, what?
I saw a body fall, but I didn't know if that was him or not, because it happened so fast. Like, that was so bad.
Yeah, just no flow to it, really.
No.
In the whole third act.
The whole scene in the forest, it just seemed like... It was kind of funny, because it's like, this movie's like trying to be different, but then it's like, they're in a forest, it's just Predator.
Yep.
It's like, okay, like, why'd you do that? And I've seen set pictures from the original third act, which has, like, the main characters in, like, tanks. And, like, it's, like, in broad daylight, which I heard that's one of the reshoot thing they want to have in the night to make it more, like, darker or something, or more scarier.
That's bullshit.
But also apparently in the original version there was like two like good guy predators who were helping them fight the big predator.
Yeah, it definitely felt like they left out a lot of stuff with like they were hinting at like the first predator being helpful towards them.
Yeah, and
or like wanting to help them, but it never really does.
And he gets taken out so quick.
Yeah,
that it just ends up becoming them going up against the big predator.
Yeah,
and I thought there'd be a lot more to it than what we got. And even like the whole plot, the whole story, which again, it's kind of weird because like it's just them kind of speculating what they think is happening, like that our planet is dying because of climate control and the predators are trying to take over.
Lots of jumping to conclusions.
That's why they're doing like the hybrid test, but that didn't really go anywhere, did it? The hybrid test?
They tried to kidnap the kid.
Yeah,
was the one thing. That was their thing, because they were like, yeah, because he has Asperger's, like he's the next step in the evolutionary chain or something.
I don't know. But like that whole thing just didn't work for me. It was kind of like just so out there and didn't really properly develop that I was like, I don't really know. And just like the other two movies, it has its fair share of callbacks.
Yes, and none of them are really good.
And they're like, get to the choppers, and it's their bikes.
Or you're one beautiful motherfucker. Could they say that in the other movies? It's they're just kind of they're grown moments.
Yeah. I will say this though, the scene in the climax when they jump onto the predator ship that's flying away, I thought was really dumb and how it was flying and they were just standing on it like, yeah, okay, we're fine. But once the kind of like cloaking device came on, I thought that was really clever.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I really like the idea like how there's that layer in between like the ship and the cloaking device, enough for the main guy to get under it. And then the one guy didn't get under time and got cut in half, which that effect looked really bad.
It did.
The CGI looked really bad.
It was specifically not just him get with the legs cut off, but when he like fell backwards.
Yeah.
It looked like he was moving at a completely different speed from everything. It was so off.
Yeah. And then like the one guy's like still on top of it. And I thought that was, I don't know, I thought that was really clever and really unique. I like that bit a lot. Kind of made up for that whole kind of dumb idea of them jumping onto the ship. You know, kind of made up for it. I thought that was cool. And then you have the final scene.
Yep.
Wait a second. I don't even remember how they killed the big predator.
Hold on, I'll remember.
I know he got his arm cut off by something. It's been 2 days.
No, they knock him. He gets his arm cut off by the ship.
Okay.
They turn the force field on again.
Yeah.
So there's the arm cut off, and then they cut off all his other limbs too.
Don't they crash?
They crash. But how did they cut off his other limbs? Because he was like the guy from Money.
No, they stabbed him with his severed arm. Remember? Because the arm got cut off by the force field, and they stabbed him with it.
How did he lose all 4 limbs though?
No, not yet. Not before that, because he got the one arm cut off by the force field, and then I remember him picking up the arm and stabbing, like the main guy picking up the arm and stabbing him.
I remember that. But how did he lose the 4 arms?
I can't remember.
The 4 limbs. He loses all of his limbs.
I think, yeah.
No, I know he did. I remember seeing. Yes.
Okay.
Because I remember thinking I was like, oh, it's just a flesh wound. but.
Either way, though. So the ending scene.
Yeah.
Where they're in this facility and they find out like what the good predator was actually like trying to get away from the bad guy. What he was bringing here for us for some reason.
Yes.
And everything starts going haywire, and the kid's on the computer.
You got little Jacob Tremblay on the computer, like hacking away, and he's like translating whatever's being said in the alien language. He's like, it appears
it's a predator killer.
It's a predator killer.
Which doesn't make any sense because only humans know what, like, only humans call them predators.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a predator killer, and then this thing shoots out of the pod, wraps onto the guy's arm, and turns into an Iron Man-esque predator suit meant for the humans to fight off the predators. Cut to credits.
Yeah.
What? Like, out of all, like, setup for sequels, that's the best thing you pick? Like, not even, like, you couldn't even just, like, cut to a shot of a predator in space being like, we gotta go back to Earth, and then flies towards Earth, and that's it.
You could have just had that, and have one of the predators just go, hey, let's fuck him up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Logically, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, like, why the predator wanted to send the predator killer to them, like...
Because that one, he was like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's an animal rights activist predator.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I don't know.
It was dumb.
Didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I don't really mention this too much in the spoiler-free part, but the stuff with the predators, like, except the big predator is kind of silly. Yeah. But the classic predator, that stuff was pretty cool.
I agree. That was my favorite stuff in the movie.
Yeah, his whole breakout scene was awesome.
Yeah.
Where he's just like destroying the science lab and stuff like that. I thought that was really good. Yeah. I liked all that stuff. It was kind of weird seeing with the machine gun, but I thought it was a cool little moment. Like, I remember reading that in a review before seeing the movie. Like, the predator even fires like a human like machine gun. I'm like, that sounds stupid, but it happens really quickly in the movie. I thought it was a cool little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I thought
it was improvising.
Yeah, it was good. I like all that stuff. There's some fun action sequences in there.
Yeah. Not the worst movie.
No.
Just a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And that's honestly all we really got to say about it.
Yeah.
It's not really something I can recommend super wholeheartedly, but like if you enjoy the other sequels and are a big Predator fan, it's worth a watch.
It's worth a watch. Like, you could do worse. You know?
You could do much worse. They could have done better though.
Yeah.
So that's about all we've got to say. Mm-hmm. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.